What's good, y'all? Be careful, be mindful, I should say. I never want anyone to feel like they need to live life on the edge, um, in fear in order to be moving righteously. Um, and when I say righteous, I mean like in tune with the spirit, with their feminine energy, not only operating out of logic, the left brain, the left hemisphere, masculine energy, physicality. Um, but yeah, when you are dating, when you're looking to align for people, this actually goes beyond dating, but it's more it's it's very obvious and it's more amplified when it comes to um, romantically intimate situations. And so something that we do is, well, you've heard of the term how people say like attracts like. And so this is true. It's also misleading because it's not really that simple. So people are like, oh, well, I attracted this narcissist and I'm not a narcissist, or, things like that. But truthfully, you don't have to, it's not about being the same as this person. It's about what frequency you're on. So when you're going through something and you're not feeling at your best or very well emotionally, energetically, this basically creates, if you could picture having an aura, excuse me. Excuse me, but if you could picture having an aura and then it being perforated, so a bunch of holes start appearing in your aura. This is a visualization of basically what can happen to your energetic field when you're not vibrating, when your frequency isn't vibrating as fast to make that aura more dense and less permeable. Usually, when we talk about denseness, it's heavy. We don't want things to be so dense. But when it comes to the aura, this is the one thing where it's okay. Like you do want to actually have that strong and impermeable. So when you're going through energetic lows, emotional lows, you make yourself more susceptible to attracting people who match that frequency vibration. So you might just be going through a mood or a phase, but that doesn't really matter. It's just about the present. The past and the future uh, are not real right now. So all that really matters is how you're feeling in this present moment, and that is what's creating the future. So if you're not feeling good right now about yourself, about life, that opens you up to being able to attract someone who doesn't feel very good about themselves. And we don't know if that is a temporary um, mood or if that is a way of being, a state of being that this person um, has homeostasis in, has as something that has become their more default setting. And therefore, you will go through some things that reflect that with them. So, what was happening in that type of instance is that you were vibrating on the frequency of the lesson that you needed to receive, which is that, I mean, there's a lot of lessons, right? Because there's going to be a more personalized one that only you will be able to dissect upon reflecting that situation. But for one, it was that you will be okay on your own. So if you don't really feel great enough to have energy to contribute to your own well-being, then maybe it's not time to try to join forces with another, because what do you have to fill this person's cup up with if your cup is already empty right now? It's not even a fulfilling, satiating cup for you. You can't even take care of yourself with this cup, right? So that's one thing. You can vibrate on the frequency of a lesson. Another example of how that plays out is if you've been saying, I need to work on my patience, I need to work on my ego, I need to, things like this. I need to balance myself out. Well, you then open yourself up to encounter situations that allow you to do that work. Okay, so you don't think you asked for it, but you did, but in an indirect way. So you always, it's a good idea to ask yourself, how did I end up in this situation? In what way was I asking for this? So then there's also, excuse me. Oh my God, I don't know what I got going on. Excuse me. But yeah, so then there's also how things are not black and white. So you might think someone is a bad person, but they don't feel that they're a bad person. And so what they experience as a result of their actions is based on how they feel about those actions. That's why knowledge of self and being true to yourself is important, because a psychopath can go out and off somebody and they have whatever type of, mental setup that allows them to think that that's some shit that they want to do, and that's justifiable or whatever. People justify all types of things. They have their reasons. They might think they're doing humanity a favor because people are sick in the head, or even though obviously they're sick in the head, or whatever. But because of that, this person is a psychopath or a sociopath. We could go to a less extreme example, a narcissist. But they feel happy. They feel happy and they feel justified in what they do. They don't see anything wrong with it. So they're actually somebody who vibrates on a frequency of being happy. And let's say you also are somebody who vibrates on a frequency of being happy. You guys have the potential of coming across each other. Now, this does end up back tying into the type of situation that we just went over as being on the frequency of the lesson that your soul is yearning for. And so it's clear that even if the person was happy, if they were a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopath, there were some red flags along the way that you could have chosen to utilize to put yourself in a better position, but you didn't. So at that point in time, you had to learn a tougher lesson, but next time you would have more discernment, right? So this is how like attracts like is more than what it would appear to be at face value, and that's how you can kind of navigate that and just know you're okay, you're not crazy, you're not evil, because you dealt with some people who have been. But there's always work to be done, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's why we're here. So, all right, peace.